So it has been 3 months since the release of the iPhone 15 Pro, and throughout extensive use of the battery, the A17 Pro, the camera, and the action button, to see if this iPhone is still a consideration for you guys thinking about upgrading this year, or if you guys should wait for the S24 Ultra, which seems to be like a very interesting phone if you ask me, so let's talk about it. Let's start the video talking about the frame. In my opinion, the addition of titanium to the iPhone 15 Pro has been the perfect addition. Obviously, titanium is stronger than stainless steel or aluminum, so it is a more durable frame. It's very comfortable to hold as well and lighter, which makes this phone a bit more pleasant to use without a case than the previous generation iPhone. I come originally for an iPhone 14 Pro, and I can tell you that from that phone to this one is a huge difference. Besides the fact that that one was a 14 Pro Max, and in my opinion, I prefer the regular size Pro instead of the Pro Max. It's a little bit too big, and when I put it on my pockets, it prints too much, and I really don't like it that much. And also, as I've discussed in other videos, besides the titanium frame, we have the smaller bezels on the iPhone 15 Pro. To be honest, it's not extremely noticeable, but it is obviously better to have a little bit more screen real estate to look at media and consume social media and all that stuff, but it shouldn't be a main factor for you to upgrade for that, in my opinion. But there's so much more to discuss that may be enough for you to upgrade. Now, another addition for this year is the USB Type-C. And to be honest, at least for my use, I really don't use it as much, since when I take videos or if I want to transfer images from my phone to my computer, I typically use AirDrop most all the time. But it's good that we have the the availability for faster charging, and also adding the addition of external memory when it comes to recording videos in ProRes log, which is a very huge level up for video capabilities on the iPhone, making the iPhone very close to professional cameras, as you guys have seen when we got the latest Apple event, where it was completely recorded on iPhone and no one really noticed, which was very impressive. The action button was one of the main features for the iPhone 15 Pro series this year, and I've tried it throughout this 3 months. Many shortcuts, apps, and features that I can use to make that action button more useful, but to me, I cannot find anything else that makes more sense to use on the go like that for a quick trigger than the camera. I have my action button set up for the rear camera. My main focal length that I typically use is the 24mm focal length, and beside that, I really do not find it more useful for anything else. I have my ChatGPT on the rear by double tap. I've seen some other people using some very cool shortcuts that give you an option to open a menu, but I think that in the time that takes me to choose something, I can easily just open the phone and just pick that specific app. But it's just preference at this point, I think. When it comes to battery durability, I'm getting usually around 9 hours of battery life on screen, which is pretty good for being an iPhone 15 Pro. Obviously, if battery is a concern from you, I think that you're probably better off looking into the Pro Max or even the 15 Plus. This phone is incredible in battery, and honestly a great upgrade from the 14 Plus from last year. One thing for me, during the first month of ownership of the iPhone 15 Pro, I was a little bit concerned of the battery, knowing the nightmares that we went through with the 14 Pro last year. So I was charging my phone only up to 80%, but if you're looking to have your phone for a longer period of time, I highly suggest you to charge your phone only up to 80% so you can keep your battery health as good as possible. Honestly, during this last 3 months, I haven't felt like the 15 Pro has been much faster than my experience with the 14 Pro was. If you put it side by side through typical activities, it's really hard to see any improvements in efficiency or performance, but if you put them side by side playing a high-end game, you can clearly see that the 15 Pro Max or the 15 Pro can manage the game much smoother. Every game that I play runs extremely well, and I can see Apple eventually competing with other dedicated handhelds in the future, especially when they start passing down those gaming capabilities to the more affordable devices. Since everyone has a phone, and they will only need to carry a controller and a USB Type-C to be able to play on any TV or monitor of their choice. I can see all that happening, especially when you see the new iCloud Plus plans that they're offering, up to 12 terabyte of storage, which is completely insane. I think that those storage options are gonna make more sense when they start introducing more AAA games to the iPhone. Some games occupy an incredible amount of memory, so it makes sense that in the future they might want to have that available and make it more attractive to people. As you guys know, we have now RCS coming to iPhones later this year, or that's what Apple is saying. I think that's gonna be probably a good thing, especially if you are looking into trying an Android for the first time. This is actually the perfect time. Now that we have the S24 Ultra coming out already, it was announced the 17th of January, and I think that honestly this phone is a very attractive device and I want to try it. I already placed an order already, so it's gonna be coming to this channel very shortly. You guys can expect to see a lot of content on that phone with camera comparison with the iPhone 15 Pro, performance comparison with them, maybe a day in a life with that phone as well. But I'll keep you guys updated with all the future content that is coming to the channel. Things are gonna get even better, and I thank you guys for the support that you guys have given me so far, and I'll see you guys on the next one.